what's up, y'all? This is Real Talk with B, back at it again. And you know how we do. We just gonna dive right on in it. So, I told y'all, my boy was gonna come through. He got some stuff he wanna talk about to y'all. This my boy David.
How you doing?
He came on here to bless us with his story. And I hope y'all get as much from it as I did and some understanding about how real life go. So, tell them a little bit about yourself.
So, my name's David. I'm a 25-year-old rapper, musician. I'm a part owner of a business roadside company out in another place. And yeah, that's about it, I guess. I don't really know.
All right, so we're going to get on into this story, y'all. So something happened to you not too far back. You want to kind of get the people a little bit on that, on how it started?
So, first off, I was with this beautiful young woman named R.I.H Beard, and me and her were best friends. So, that's just how I want to start that off. I was kidnapped on about January 12th or 11th of 2019. Or no, 2020, I'm sorry. And I was tortured, beaten, tased, sliced with razors, pistol whipped up to 50 times. And then my beautiful woman suffered the end tragedy that was supposed to be for me. And yeah, that's about the summary of it.
Could you tell the people a little bit about what was going through your mind when this was going on?
I came to terms with God. I remember sitting in that bathtub, duct taped up, tied up. I think it was like 2 days before R.I.H was murdered. I looked up to God and I was like, so this is it, huh? So this is how we really finna do this. Well, I was scared. I remember I was trapped in a closet for 11 days. And I remember literally, I didn't cry while being tortured. I cried while being stuck, solidified in a closet for 11 days with no contact, barely any food, no cigarettes, no nothing. And the only person that would come and 2 or 3 times a day and open the closet was R.I.H. And she would bring me food whenever they let me. She'd give me a cigarette or 2 every time. And she'd just sit there. She slept with me in that closet one time. Surprisingly, they let her. Yeah.
So their issue wasn't with her, it was just with you?
No, so-and-so and R.I.H were best friends.
Mm-hmm.
Literal best friends. That's the only reason why I didn't get killed off the gate. Because so-and-so said that R.I.H is my thug. That's my thug. And she was pregnant with my child also. And he looked at me while pistol whipping me, saying, I won't let this child come into this world without a father. Boom. And that's the only reason I felt like I'm alive, but the end result doesn't make any sense.
Well, obviously, God had a better plan for you.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying he didn't have a better plan for anyone else in this situation, but there's a little bit more that you need to do. And
oh, definitely after all that, I'm sorry to interrupt. Definitely after what happened, after all the times I said God wasn't real, God wasn't this, God came down, looked me in my face, and said, I'm about to give you another shot at life, dude. Don't mess this up. And that's what I felt in my mind, in my heart, that was meant to be. And so after that, I found faith. I found God. I used to pray every night. I've been slowly sloping off that, but yeah.
How does that make you feel now that it's done, you went through it, and you got to live with the fact that someone you love and care about is gone? Not one person, too, because she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
How does that make you feel after that happens and you're still here?
Horrible. I think about it every day. I lay down at night, I think about her, our baby that would have been. I wake up every day, I think about her, the baby that would have been. I, throughout the day, found myself drinking my soul away. And I hate it. And then B here told me I need to start praying more. And so that's what I've been doing, and that's how I've been handling it, and yeah. It's awful. It's horrible. But I know, like I said before, God came to me and told me that I got a greater purpose. So I know God has me in my back, and that's how I get through it.
If you could say something to the people that did this to you, what would it be?
Why?
And you could say anything you want to say to them.
Why?
Why?
Why? Why'd you kill her? That's what I want to know.
So you don't care why they did it to you, you just care why they killed her?
Yeah. Why? She was a beautiful soul. Would have done anything in the world for anyone. She loved me to death. And it's hard to love me, trust me. But, like, why? Like, when I was locked up, I seen who did it multiple times. And all they did was look at me, and all I could do was look at them, because at that point, I was, like, so full of rage. Like, I asked the guard to pop the door open of the dude who supposedly... Actually, he got charged with the murder. So, Uriah fucking... Uriah. I'm just going to say Uriah. He got charged with it. So, Uriah... I told the guard to pop Uriah's door. And I was going to go...
Boot up.
Yeah.
That's what they call it. Yeah. Boot up in there.
Yeah. Like, I was fully ready.
So, now with the incident, you know, being over physically, because it's always going to be there mentally for you. Mm-hmm. How do you handle how some people might look at you now? Because with that situation, some people might look at you as as a snitch, so to say. Mm-hmm. But to mature people didn't know you. We look at it as somebody done something awful to you and another lovely soul. And it's their problem.
So,
how do you feel about that? How do you handle that? How do you handle people looking at you? And you've told me that people changed on you.
Yeah.
How you handle that? How you feel about that?
I don't care.
I think it's messed up.
It is. It's horrible. And it's awful. Because a beautiful soul that was taken from life way too early got taken, who was also pregnant with my child, who was going to be a beautiful soul to this earth. I would do it again. Let that situation happen again. I'm going to do it again. I don't care. A life that was taken, who was not supposed to be taken, was taken. So...
What do you mean by do it again?
So if all that happened again...
You would go through it again?
No.
Okay.
If all that happened again and the end result, what would I do? I would have the same result. I'm sorry. It's not like I got caught with something and blamed something on somebody.
True.
No, I didn't. That
Which
is
would be
snitch.
Snitching to get yourself out of trouble.
I got caught in a bathtub tied up and didn't even know my girlfriend was murdered until I got to the police station. And 30 minutes after, I was telling them, can I talk to Lachey? Can I talk to Lachey?
Did you hear the gunshot?
Yeah.
And what went through your mind at that point?
Multiple gunshots have been let off.
Did you feel like you were next?
Yeah. They were talking about taking me out to the reservoir, doing me in, and then tossing me. Like, that's what I was so convinced that I was going to die. Like, I was in the bathtub smiling. Because I just knew I couldn't do anything. I was outgunned,
You just accepted your fate pretty much.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine that.
I wouldn't want anybody to.
Couldn't imagine that, though.
I heard the gunshot. So when the police came in, and the police kicked in the door.
Hold on, let's go back to this.
Okay.
Let's get to the root of the story,
Mm-hmm.
and we're just gonna touch on a little bit of it. So
Okay.
whatever you're comfortable with talking about, that's what you talk about. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In the events led up to this,
Yeah.
something happened to have caused it.
Yeah.
Do you feel
Yeah.
that it was?
My fault?
Yes.
Yeah.
You do.
I do. But I don't feel the end result was my fault.
I agree.
Because the end result was supposed to be me,
Yes.
not her. So what I did leading up to the the actions that happened, that was me. That's why when I was getting quote unquote tortured or whatever you want to call it, I didn't cry.
Right. So you admit that you put yourself in a
Yes.
bad position, but the end result, you didn't think of that. You didn't think nothing was going to happen because it's something that we all have done through life and got involved with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some stuff that people just don't think that would happen from. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for real. And another thing is, don't do drugs, kids. Please don't. For the love of God.
Please don't.
Please don't. Drugs are not the way out of anything. I just want to put that out there.
So since you said that, is that one of the reasons that this altercation happened?
Yeah.
That has something to do with it?
That wasn't the reason, but those being...
It was involved.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Okay.
And I'm happy to say that ever since I've gotten out of being locked up, because, after I was found in the bathtub, I got sentenced to jail for 6 months, which I'm still fighting a case now, which will be 15 months when it's completed. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, don't... Drugs are bad.
So, when you were locked up, were you scared that what people might do to you when they heard that you were...
Of course.
Okay.
That was the first thing I said. I was like, so I know I'm going to be labeled a snitch when I go in there. So what's going to happen? Like they said, the police literally said to me, we feel the safest place for you right now is jail. And I was like, okay. Right on. So this is going to be on the news tomorrow. Everybody's going to see it tomorrow.
Which it was, correct?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was all over social media.
All over it. And who's the guy that got the most hatred out of it? Me. Well, not me necessarily. But in a jail-populated facility, when you walk in there and you're labeled a snitch, and I didn't go to PC. I chose to go to Gym Pop. I was going to face my fate.
For those of the people who don't know what PC is...
It's private civilization, whatever.
Solitude people.
Yeah. People that don't...
Bubble.
People who are scared.
Yeah.
But I went in there not scared. I refuse to be. I can't. If you're going to do what you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So, I literally went from kidnapped, girlfriend murdered, bathtub tied up, being found, to the police station, to jail within 30 minutes. So I had to deal with all that, and then had to go deal with knowing that I was going to do 6 months or more in jail. Had to go deal with that, and dealt with it.
So I have a question. You can answer it or don't, but I'm sure a lot of people probably wonder, maybe a certain few might know. I don't know. Do you know what happened leading to the event of when the girl you loved was killed?
Oh.
Do you know why?
Okay, so the guy who was charged with the murder and who did the murder, which was Uriah, was tweaking real bad. They was all, doing whatever, drugs. And everyone had been up for days. Uriah didn't like Lachey because he felt Lachey was a threat. Because, dang, I forgot about this one. At one point in time when I was in the closet, there was so-and-so, Lachey, and Uriah. So, they were all talking about, so, if Uriah killed me, so-and-so would kill him, and they're supposed to be brothers, because him and Lachey were so close. So, he said he was going to free me. Okay, cool. So, that's what happened, and then he'd been up for so many days, which was Uriah, and Lachey had just gotten off of work. She worked at Panera Bread. She would always bring in a big bag of food for everybody. Like, I'm talking, she would take all the leftovers and put them in 2 big bags. Bring them in for everybody to eat. I remember her walking in the door saying, because I was in the bathtub. I'm just hearing this. She walked in the door saying that so-and-so was coming to pick her up to take her to file her taxes. And she said, I don't know about you, so-and-so, but do you want to see my tax check? And then it got real quiet. Real quiet. And the next thing I know, I hear a boom. And I'm sitting there like, well, there's been multiple booms the whole time. I didn't think none of it. Mm-hmm. And so I was just in there just ready. I literally I had to urinate on myself. I couldn't use the restroom at that point when I was in the tub. I couldn't drink any water. There was no food at that point. Nothing. And then I heard that boom. And I was sitting there. I was just like, well, that's normal. So I thought Lachey was going to file her taxes. That's when the police kicked in the door and they came and got me, I didn't know Lachey was gone. So they put a blanket over my head, rushed me through the backyard, which I didn't think, my head was so messed up, I didn't think what could have happened.
So at that point, you didn't know about her still?
No.
Okay.
Nothing. So they sat me down. There was 14 police cars. In my head, I was like, dang, that's a lot of police cars for, a kidnapping. Mm-hmm. Wow. So they take me to the police station, question me, and I answered truthfully. And they came in with a picture of Lachey. They said, is this Lachey? I said, yeah. They go, okay. Turned around and walked out. So I'm stuck in a first 48 room or whatever, sitting there wondering. And then in comes a detective, or 2 detectives and a chaplain. And they look at me and they tell me Lachey's gone. And I looked at them dead in their eyes and I said, you mean dead? And they said, yeah. And the chaplain came up to me and said, dude, get away from me. And I just started bawling my eyes out. I lost it. Completely lost it. And mind you, I hadn't ate for 6 days. 5 or 6 days at that point. So one of the detectives went and got me McDonald's, which was only 2 freaking cheeseburgers, a large fry, and a Coke.
So you didn't know right away that she was gone?
No.
You didn't find out until you were at police station?
Mm-hmm. And then I realized that when they were walking me through the yard with a sheet over my head, she was laying right there next to me in that freaking yard.
And you didn't even know it?
Nope. They wouldn't tell me. And you know what happened? A neighbor upstairs, because it was a 2-bedroom apartment, or a 2-story apartment, the neighbor upstairs called him and said somebody might be hurt. We heard a gunshot. And literally, Uriah's murder statement says that he was on his way back in to do me, but they heard police sirens and ran.
Really?
Yep. Honest to God.
Wow.
They were coming back in there to do me, but police sirens saved my life. Yeah. So I'm not even supposed to be here, but police sirens saved my life, ironically, or whatever that would be.
When I had to jump in on that, man, I had to go God again. And we don't understand his plans, but I always throw that in there. It's like first nature to me, But, somebody was with you, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
And we know who it was,
Mm-hmm.
is there anything you want to say to her family, man? I mean,
Man, to be
now's
honest,
your chance.
I haven't even spoke to her family. I don't even know where her gravestone is, bro.
Well, this is your chance to talk to them, and hopefully they'll see it, and you can talk to them now.
I'm so sorry from the bottom of my heart that any of that transpired. And I'm just so sorry. She was a beautiful soul. I don't know what else to say. I've talked to her real mom, because she was adopted into a very, very Christian home.
Yeah.
And I talked to her real mom all the time. We were supposed to move to Chicago with her real mom 3 days before that happened, before she was killed. Because they were going to let me go. And we were just going to pack up and go to Chicago. And then that happened. So, I'm just so sorry. She didn't deserve to die. And just know that I'm not a bad person. And they're the bad ones. Because Lachey's mom is a pastor. And so I've had a couple people who go to her church, bring me up. And they go, oh, no, he's leave him alone. He's bad, he's bad, he's bad. I'm not a bad person. And even if you think I'm a bad person, that's fine. But just know from the bottom of my heart, I am so sorry that you lost a beautiful loved one that won't be here this Christmas.
Well, listen, everybody. There's nothing that I can say, nothing he can say that will obviously bring her back. But we all know that she is greatly missed and gone too soon behind foolishness, Yeah, people involved could have done things differently. The cause for this could have been avoided, As adults, we have a tendency not to think before we act. And like I said, I just want everybody to find peace within themselves, including you.
I'm working hard on it.
And the family. I know the Beards, so, my deepest condolences. And I feel like you coming on here and wanting to talk about this is a huge step for you,
Bro, I haven't even gone to see counselors because I don't believe in counselors. I don't.
Yeah. It's tough to talk about. I can only imagine that's something that's going to be traumatic for you for a long time, man. It doesn't go away for anyone who is involved. It's a sad situation, people.
Rest in peace. That's what I'd like my final words to be. Rest in peace, baby. I'll always love you. And I miss you every day. And I'll hope to meet you up in the gates someday.
All right, people. I promised y'all this interview. He wanted to come through and get it off his chest, and I believe he's, spoke his piece and said what he wanted to say, and I hope y'all can have some understanding in it. If not, that's okay too. But he was man enough to get on here and talk about it, and give his condolences. So whatever's that worth to anyone, to each his own. But sad as it may be, it's a lesson in this, people. The streets is tough for anybody. I've been in them. I know how hard it is out there. But this ain't my story to tell. So we're going to end it with that. Rest in peace. And you are definitely missed.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Always think before you act.
True. That's very true.
That's all I want to say.
That's very true. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hop on in the comments if you got some words of encouragement. If you got advice for the young man.
Hopefully he'll tag me to it.
Definitely. So just be sure to check it out. If you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. But I appreciate y'all for watching this. And he appreciates y'all for listening.
For real.
This is Real Talk with B. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, salute and peace out.